Something shocking is about to hit Port Charles, and I think one familiar face, one dangerous return, and one mysterious performance could all be part of a much bigger secret plan that no one saw coming. I'm looking at who's coming and going during the week of May 4th to 8th, and I have to say this right away. I don't think these appearances are random. I don't think Michael James Scott's appearance, Brick's return, Pascal's reappearance, and even Jason's shadow hovering over Port Charles are isolated moments. I think General Hospital may be arranging many pieces on the chessboard before a major betrayal is exposed. Right now, Port Charles feels like it is holding its breath. Everyone is moving, everyone is watching, and everyone seems to have something to hide. On the surface, it looks like the town is getting a little entertainment, a few familiar faces, and maybe some emotional moments. But I think underneath all of that, something darker is building. Let me start with Michael James Scott, because this could look harmless at first. Port Charles is welcoming the man known for playing the genie, and I think his performance is going to be big, colorful, and impossible to ignore. But I also think this is not just about music, fun, or a magical night out. I think this performance could become the emotional reset Jordan desperately needs. Curtis taking Jordan to see Michael James Scott perform feels important to me. I don't think Curtis does this by accident. I think he sees that Jordan has been carrying too much. Pain, stress, fear, regret, maybe even guilt. And I think he wants to pull her out of that darkness, even if only for one night. But in Port Charles, one night of escape almost always turns into one night where something else begins. And that is where I start getting suspicious. Because while Jordan may be trying to breathe again, I think someone else could be watching her. I think someone may be using this public event as cover. A performance, a crowd, lights, noise, emotion. That is the perfect place for someone to move unnoticed. And I have to ask, is this just a night out, or is this the beginning of a much larger plan? But everything doesn't stop there. Brick is back, and I think his return is a massive sign that Sonny is not just sitting back and hoping for the best. When Brick shows up, I always feel like the temperature changes. He is not the kind of character who appears just to say hello and disappear. Brick usually brings information, strategy, and danger. So if he is going to be around throughout the week, I think Sonny has given him a mission. I don't know exactly what Sonny wants yet, but I have a strong feeling it connects to protection, surveillance, or revenge. Sonny may be sensing that something is wrong. Maybe he doesn't have all the facts, but Sonny does not need all the facts to know when an enemy is moving. I think Brick could be digging into someone's movements, tracking a threat, or trying to uncover who is really pulling strings behind the scenes. And that is where the word betrayal starts flashing in my mind. Because if Brick is investigating, then someone is hiding something. And if someone is hiding something, it means a secret is close to being exposed. I think Sonny may be closer than he realizes to finding out that danger is not coming from far away. It may already be inside Port Charles. It may already be standing next to people he loves. Now let's talk about Pascal, because this is where I think the week turns terrifying. Pascal's return does not feel casual to me. I think Pascal comes back with fear wrapped around him. His presence feels like a warning sign. When he appears, I do not expect peace. I expect panic. I expect someone to get hurt. I expect someone to disappear. And I especially think Pascal could be connected to the possible attack and kidnapping of Jocelyn. If Pascal is the one taking orders, then I think he is not acting alone. I think he is the hand, not the head. Someone else may be giving instructions. Someone else may have already decided that Jocelyn knows too much, asks too many questions, and is getting too close to a truth that could destroy everything. And if Jocelyn is taken to Windermere, that changes everything. Windermere is not just a location. I see Windermere as a warning. It is isolated, haunted, full of history, and perfect for secrets. If someone is hiding Jocelyn there, then I believe this is not just a kidnapping. This is a message. Someone wants control. Someone wants silence. Someone wants to make sure that whatever Jocelyn is close to uncovering never reaches the light. But I have to say it, I don't think Jocelyn is the only victim. I think Windermere could be hiding more than one secret. Maybe another person is already trapped there. Maybe someone was taken before Jocelyn. Maybe Jocelyn walks into a nightmare and realizes she is not the first one. That would be a shocking twist. And honestly, it feels very General Hospital. Now, here is my bigger theory. What if Pascal's return, Brick's mission, and Jordan's emotional reset all collide around the same hidden plot? What if the performance gives one person hope, while across town another person loses their freedom? What if Sunny sends Brick to investigate one threat, but Brick uncovers something much worse? What if Pascal thinks he is just carrying out orders, but the real mastermind is someone no one suspects? That is the kind of twist I am watching for. And then there is Jason. I know it may feel a little early for Jason to return to the screen in a major way. I'm not saying he is suddenly walking back into Port Charles and fixing everything overnight. But I do think Jason's name, his status, or some piece of information about him could shake the town this week. Maybe Liz hears something. Maybe Carly gets a message. Maybe Sunny receives news that makes him stop cold. And if Sunny finds out something about Jason while Brick is also working a new assignment, then I think those two storylines may connect faster than anyone expects. Jason does not need to appear in every scene to control the energy of the week. Sometimes all it takes is one phone call, one report, one whisper. One person saying, Jason may not be where everyone thinks he is, and suddenly everything changes. For Carly, news about Jason would hit deeply. I think Carly would immediately want answers. She would not sit quietly. She would push, question, and possibly walk straight into danger. For Sunny, it could awaken old loyalty and old guilt. For Liz, it could bring emotional weight, especially if the news suggests Jason is hurt, missing, or involved in something dangerous. And if Jason is somehow connected to the chaos around Jocelyn, then this becomes even bigger. Because Jocelyn being in danger could pull Carly into the center of the storm. Carly would not wait for permission. She would go after her daughter. Sunny would move his people. Brick would dig harder. And if Jason's name enters the situation at the same time, then I think Port Charles could explode. But the most shocking possibility is this. What if Jocelyn's kidnapping is not only about silencing her? What if it is bait? I think someone may want to lure Sunny, Carly, or even Jason into the open. Jocelyn could be the target, but she could also be the trap. That would make Pascal's role even more sinister. He may think he is completing one task, but he could be helping launch a much larger plan. And if that plan gets exposed, the betrayal could be brutal. I keep coming back to Windermere because it is the perfect place for a reveal. Imagine Jocelyn trapped there, slowly realizing that her captor is connected to a larger secret. Imagine Pascal appearing cold and threatening, but then slipping up and revealing he is afraid of someone else. Imagine Brick getting close to the truth just as Sunny realizes the threat is personal. Imagine Carly hearing Jason's name at the worst possible moment. That is the kind of chain reaction I think this week could start. And Michael James Scott's appearance may seem like the lighter side of the week, but I don't think it will stay separate. I think his performance could serve as contrast. While Jordan finds a little spark again, someone else's world falls apart. While Curtis tries to help Jordan heal, danger is moving through Port Charles. While people are distracted by music and applause, a darker plan may already be in motion. That is soap drama at its best. I also think Jordan's renewed strength could matter later. If Curtis helps her regain her focus, maybe Jordan becomes sharper than anyone expects. Maybe she notices something. Maybe she connects Pascal to another crime. Maybe she becomes the one person who sees the pattern before the others do. And if Jordan starts investigating while Brick is also digging, then I think two separate paths could lead to the same terrifying truth. And that truth may be that someone in Port Charles has been planning this for a long time. Liu de Carfire a plan from the beginning. I think it could be. I think what looks like sudden chaos may actually be a carefully built trap. Pascal's return may be the action. Brick's return may be the response. Michael James. Scott's performance may be the distraction. Jason's possible news may be the emotional bomb. And Jocelyn's danger may be the spark that blows the whole thing open. By the end of the week, I think someone's secret could be exposed, but not fully. I think General Hospital may give us just enough to panic, just enough to question everything, and just enough to make us wonder who is really in control. So here is where I land. I think Port Charles is about to face a shocking week where comfort, danger, and betrayal all collide. I think Jordan may rise again. I think Brick may uncover something Sunny never expected. I think Pascal could bring real tragedy. And I think Jason's name may return at exactly the moment everyone is already on edge. But the biggest question is this. If Jocelyn is taken to Windermere, who is waiting there? Is Pascal only following orders? Is Brick already too late? Is Sunny walking into a trap? And is Jason's possible connection the secret twist that no one saw coming? I don't think this is just another week of spoilers. I think this is the beginning of a dangerous reveal. And once this plan is exposed, I have a feeling Port Charles will never look the same again.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.